Good evening, and welcome everyone to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always joined by the illustrious Cigarden Panel with at I am Jazz Garcelle and the God Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. If you are joining us tonight, please make sure to like and share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Also, we have a sponsor tonight. So before we get into tonight's show, please sit back and enjoy this quick word from our sponsor.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not know how, to not even know what responsibility means, right? Or what it means for you to be responsible. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, and support your interests and live.
And we back. Peace, God.
Peace, God. Yo, what's good, fam?
Man, it's been a week. It's been a week.
It's been a week. It's been a week.
Yeah, I'm ready to start this one off. Kick this one off. Kick this new week off with some intelligence.
It's needed.
Yeah.
Because my last week was full of unintelligence.
Wow.
And so it's kind of ironic that today's word is actually intelligence. So I'm interested in the bill.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you know what we always do. Tonight's word is intelligence, and we always trying to figure out if it's bad, good, or misunderstood. And it's also not limited to AI because that's artificial.
First one is
So
it depends on who you are. The first one's the sun, right? But this is the one we're talking about.
that's the one we talking about. Absolutely. So first things first, we always gonna get into the definition of the word. And we pulling this from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. And intelligence is a noun. And the first definition we have is the ability to learn or understand or deal with new or trying situations. The skilled use of reason. The ability to apply knowledge, to manipulate one's environment, or to think abstractly as measured by objective criteria, such as a test. Mental acuteness, shrewdness, in Christian Science, the basic eternal quality of divine mind. Then we go down here to news, information and news, information concerning an enemy or possible enemy or an area, an agency engaged in obtaining such information. The act of understanding, comprehension. The ability to perform computer functions. And then we have intelligent mind or minds or mind with cosmic intelligence. And B, an intelligent entity. And it says especially an angel.
All right, so I'm already seeing it's definitely good, right? But I can see where it can get tricky. and I can see where my problem is specifically, right? So right away, the very first thing it says the ability to learn, right? So if you just take it step by step, like a baby, right? The ability to learn or understand, right? So if you are a baby or infant growing through stages, what and why do you need to understand as you're learning, right? What's the purpose, right? What are you going to do with that information when you learn it? It also says, or to deal with new or trying situations.
Hmm.
Reason, right? Again, I'm on some infant stuff, right? So some new and trying situations to reason. What do babies do when they're learning how to walk and they fall? They get back up or they cry and wait for somebody to pick them up,
Right.
right? Like, but again, like they are making a decision based off that new and trying situation. Yo, this is a awesome word, bro. Yeah.
Early.
Early,
Early.
right? Early, right? And that's just 1A, right?
That's just 1A, right? And let's stay on the babies because um the example that you use when you say the baby fell down, the baby is learning there to deal with the new or trying situation. When you said they get back up, that's the skill use of reason after they've accepted that I'm gonna keep falling until I learn how to stop falling.
Because they still have a goal. There's still a reason why they're getting back up. There's still a reason why they're up in the first place, right?
Right.
Some caught their eye, mommy, daddy called them, whatever, right? Like they have something in their heart that motivated them enough to get from over here to over there, and that took a lot of intelligence.
A lot of intelligence.
You just can't think your way from here to over there. Like it requires your whole entire body to to accept and believe in you.
Big facts. And that's babies.
That's babies,
That's
right? And we
babies.
we see it in their face, right? We see them get frustrated, right? When they're trying to communicate, right? And they go from watching you in your face and watching how your mouth move when you use certain words,
Mhm.
especially like frequent words
Mhm.
that they learn the quick words because they're trying to get certain things,
Yes.
right? So they learn by looking because they want to fill their belly or whatever their appetite is of the moment,
Mhm.
right? Like you see all that, like you see that, you can see all that processing, right? That's intelligence, the
Right.
ability to learn, not their high IQ. Like that's not for 1A.
Facts. Like nobody's born walking. Like nobody's born walking.
Nobody's born walking, right? Like it's a whole process,
Yeah, no human.
right?
No human is a born walker.
Yeah, that'd be scary, son.
Pop out the womb and just take off.
Yeah, I promise you, the whole village would probably take him out. Or worship him. Like, either way.
If science don't get them.
You know?
I think
But
they going somewhere special.
right, and we just talking reason, right? So reason is for a thing. Like you're doing it for a purpose. Like it's not just willy-nilly, just because I can grab a girl's butt, I'm gonna grab a girl's butt. I'm going to respect myself and respect her, and not without permission.
Yeah, definitely not. That's a charge.
A whole charge.
It better
But
be
that's
your
but that's
girl.
but that's reason, right? That's reason.
Yeah,
It got to be your girl,
it gotta be your girl.
right? And you got to be willing to put up with your girl for the right to do
Yeah,
that.
it already has to be an agreement between you all that we can communicate on that level.
Right?
With
Right?
touching, yes, we do intimate touching.
We
Yeah,
do intimate
affection
touches.
and
Yeah,
affectionate
affection. We
touching.
do that.
Yeah, we do
Right?
that.
We do that, right? Because because it's not common sense.
You know,
It's not common practice even. Right? So you got to learn the
no,
person.
yeah, it is. It is. Some people not even used to stuff like that. Um, so what we got? We got two: the ability to apply knowledge, to manipulate one's environment, or to think abstractly as measured by objective criteria.
I'm scared of that word manipulate because that sounds um what's my man name, Lex Luthorish, right? Now we don't that sounds more negative apply than positive apply, even though I'm intelligent enough to recognize what they're saying here.
The context.
Yeah,
The context. Yeah,
right.
I mean, we can do manipulate next Sunday.
Word.
Um, because that is because used right here, you would have to understand the context of this manipulation to know that it is not negative. Because everybody has to manipulate their own environment.
Everybody.
Like it's almost impossible to not, because your actions determine results and reactions in your environment. So um the knowledge that you have, like this says, the ability to apply that knowledge is to manipulate one's environment. uh Clear example, like, I can have a positive attitude. That doesn't mean everybody else will have a positive attitude, but some people will feed off of that.
That's true.
You know, the other people who just always shitty, they just gonna be shitty.
Butt heads.
Like it's just they gotta find something. Um,
I like where you're going with that, right? And I'm a veggie back off that, and on that same line of thought for me, manipulate one's environment doesn't necessarily mean you have to make yourself the leader or in charge or the
right.
star, right? Because your environment, it requires everything in order for it to be a functioning ecosystem, right?
That's
So
right.
every player, every piece is required to be in its position in order for your environment to be what it is. So you may not necessarily, it's kind of like being at work, right? At work, even if you have a key role, you're not necessarily the star, like your boss is the star, right? Like the CEO or the
Right.
president, like they are the ones going to be talking to the mayor and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
Based on all the work that you did.
Absolutely.
Right, because that's
Absolutely.
because your role there is to be the role player, or you can even be the star role player if you so choose, but it's still the role player for that environment.
That's right. Jordan wasn't the owner of the team.
100% facts.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't the owner of the Bulls. He got to hold the trophy for a little while, but he still had to wait until the players got their trophies made for him to get one. The original one stayed with the owner.
100% facts.
you know. But he definitely was manipulating situations on the court, though. That's for sure.
Facts, right?
In
and
that
and and that's
environment.
why context is important, right? And the ability to learn, understand, and apply knowledge, right? And not in a negative way, but in a way that benefits the environment, your environment.
Yeah. Another positive is something we both participate in horticulture, and for people who don't understand that word, that's gardening or growing plants and vegetables and things like that. Um, but there's a level of knowledge that has to be applied in order to manipulate those environments, to get harvest, to get vegetate,
Facts.
you know.
He's like this, like there's no guarantee you put a seed in some dirt and water it's gonna grow,
Absolutely not.
right? Like you still got weed, right? Like you still gotta apply some nutrients, right?
Hmm.
Like you still like you still gotta plant pollinators around.
Hmm.
You still gotta plant other bug attracting plants to keep the bugs off your food or whatever you're growing, right? It's things
Hmm.
you got to do. Like it's a whole thought process you got to have, right? Like that's a garden. That whole horticulture is actually a good point because you come to realize that bugs necessarily aren't always necessarily evil at all, right? Like
Right. It's some good bugs and it's some bad bugs.
and if your situation is correct, you have a healthy balance of both, and everybody get to eat.
That's
You,
right.
them, and everybody else, right? So that's actually pretty. Yeah, horticulture is pretty dope.
Yeah. Mental acuteness and shrewdness. I remember we was talking about shrewdness
Yeah,
in one of our past episodes, because we thought shrewdness was it was such a bad, it comes off as a negative word. Well, in society we use it negatively because people don't actually have full comprehension of the word.
yo, when I think of the word shrewd, I think of a mole, like a cartoon character. I think of like a little mole with little squinty eyes, right? That's for
Oh,
whatever
Mo.
reason. But like the word don't mean nothing like that. Like or like a weasel. Like I just think of something.
A shrewd mole, a
like,
shrewd weasel.
but it's like it's super. It's super great. Like it's a dope word.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Even in Christian Science, they say the basic eternal quality of divine mind is intelligence.
Man,
And that's crazy. Like it's crazy that the basic eternal quality of divine mind uh is given reverence by Christian Science um to intelligence, because is Christian Science the same thing as the Christian religion?
so I would say yes and no. And I would say that it depends one on the Christian you talking to for one.
But that's where I was going. That's where I was. Go ahead, God. That's where I was going with it.
and two, it would depend on if the science conflicts with their belief or not,
Oh
right?
wow.
So I'm saying to say that to say uh the just like there's like over 70 different sects of Islam. Like you
Okay.
got some that you got some that eat pork, you got some that believe in Jesus Christ, you got some like they're all different, like they're not all the same like what we think. Like there's a bunch of different Christianities too that don't all think the same way. So I'm saying that's the first hurdle. Um, but then what if you got a person that do subscribe to a Christian Scientist because they go to the same church? Uh, but this person got the wild by his colleagues and is saying something that goes against what they say in the book, I think they would pick the book over the science every time.
Mm, the word over the science. Now, real quick sidebar. We're gonna go back to the word over the science. I'm gonna keep that thought.
Mm.
Well, what Muslims eat pork? I ain't know Muslims
I don't know. There's a bunch of them, bro. Like
for real.
yeah, it's a bunch of Muslims, bro. Like it's like 70 of them. Like it's like 70 different versions. Like it's more than just Sunni and Shiite. Like it's way more. Like there's a lot of
I
them.
mean, well, I know here in the US we got, you
No,
know,
I ain't saying none of those cats is here in the U.S. I'm just
okay.
saying like in general, in the sense of the religion and right, like they funny, bro.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have to actually go and I'm gonna do some more research on that just to find out. Cause I thought that no form I thought that no uh
I could be wrong, and I stand
group of
corrected. And I
Islam.
hold on, let me apologize before they do a what do you call it, jihad on my ass and shit. Right, yo, I'm in a mood, so bring it if you want it. However, I
No,
apologize.
no, it ain't no bad thing. Like I just thought that they didn't. I thought that was just like I thought it was a religious belief on just what Orthodox Islam that they
Again,
didn't.
right? I'm not a scholar on it. I just know it's a bunch of them, and
Because I
then
thought all of
there's
them, because all of them came from the Orthodox, and then all the sects broke off.
yeah, but like even in the regions over there, like all those cats don't even believe the same thing necessarily, right? Because they got
Yeah.
like they have like they local
Mm-hmm.
beliefs and they local customs that I wouldn't say Trump, not Trump, surpass or take priority over, but they got they tribal people. Like everybody don't do the same thing. I mean, look at the Christianity. Like you got Baptist, Protestant,
Oh,
Catholicism. Like you got a whole bunch of different.
yeah. 7 Day Adventists, Methodists,
Like yeah, and they would
Zionists,
and
and
they would all tell you
so
that they
many.
different, right? And they would all fight you and say that they different,
Oh yeah. They be down to fight.
right?
That's one thing. They ain't down to unite, but they damn sure down to fight.
But that is so for them to say that the basic eternity quality of a divine mind, like that's what I'm saying. Like that's kind of how I feel about when I said earlier how your thoughts thinking ain't enough. Like your whole body gotta accept and believe in you. Like
Right.
that's what I be saying. Like that divine mind, like you just gotta accept and believe there's a higher power or believe in the God in you or whatever, right? Like um that's how I understood that.
So it's safe to say that people not even strong as babies out here.
Nah, son.
Not even determined as babies.
No,
Is
nah.
that an insult if I tell somebody, man, you're not even determined as a baby?
You
Would
know
they
why?
understand it? Would they even
No,
get it? They wouldn't
no,
even get it.
no, because they will rebuttal you with the fact that the baby will turn to a toddler and a young juvenile will get corrupted and start doing foolishness, right? And they be like, "See, that's what you saying. I'm that baby better than me," and they missed the whole point, right? Like I think people will purposely go out there and ruin these kids just to prove a point, just to keep the BS going. I don't know, man.
That doesn't seem intelligent. I know that's one thing.
It doesn't, right? Like
It does
depends on what
not
you're
seem
trying.
intelligent.
Now it depends on what you're trying to do. Whose agenda are you operating, right? Like so, if you
Right.
operating against your agenda, it might be intelligent if you're playing for the other team and you don't know it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like because if you're just worried about the bag and you're just trying to get paid right now, and you're not even thinking about the babies. In fact, what they say nowadays, f them kids,
Oh yeah. That's one of them
right?
terms they be using.
And that's one of those joints that as a parent I completely understand, right? And as a parent I also know that you really don't mean at all.
Of course not.
Like you mean it, but you don't mean it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think it's translating into a society where they mean it,
Mm. Mm.
right? Where now single people are saying "f them kids," and they don't even want to have kids, or when they had them kids, they don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Like I just for what I'm seeing is not looking intelligent at all, right? It's looking anti life, right? It's looking anti productivity, right?
It's looking like people's ability to learn and understand is being compromised severely. And I would have to say, it also lends itself to what are we feeding ourselves? Like outside of what we can't control. So like when you leave the house or you get in your car, you can't control the stuff that's going on around when you're going from
you can't
destination
control
to A
anything.
to B. you know?
You can't control anything.
So it's like, but when you come home, then you can have some order, what
Correct.
you consider to be order. And I really don't see, like, we still on 1A through C.
Yeah.
I don't see a skilled use of reason, like in people's decision making. Um and then it's that thing where it's like, okay, sticking with the ability to learn or understand or deal with new and trying situations. Like, is it because I used to think like maybe it was because I've been in the military. So because it's programmed in you that, you know, it may be a routine day, but things are not going to be the same. You always have to be alert. You always have to be ready. We're always training, so you're always learning something. You know, you're always being prepared for a new situation or for something. Like the routine. When it's routine, you happy because it's just like, I just hope nothing happens today.
that's
I just
that's
don't.
when you get the
Like, I just don't want nothing to happen today. I'm tired. We've been doing this all week. We done ran all these types of operations and we back in port. I just want to chill or something, you know.
hope that
So,
light turn off.
you like, but you can't turn your phone off, you know, because it could go off at any minute.
Correct.
And then you got to show up and deal with that new or trying situation.
Correct.
Um,
Oh, and you have to deal with that new and trying situation with the knowledge that you have learned, right? That you have to apply, right? You have to apply that stuff because that's what you have to deal with. That's your tool set. That's your toolbox,
Facts.
right? Like I don't have Pearl's tool set or toolbox. I have mine,
Right.
right? Like the things that I've done, the things that I've prepared for in my life. I'm prepared to walk the walk for me,
Hmm.
right? Like I'm not like to that's so yeah, bro. Like that's very interesting.
The basic eternal quality of divine mind, intelligence. Man, I like that. I really like that part of the definition. So we're gonna go to two real quick. We're gonna
I
go.
wish, I wish Jazz was here so she could tell us about that Christian Science if it's real or not. 'Cause-
I know, I know, I know. I think jazz. I think their religious denomination was Catholicism,
yeah,
if
I
I'm not
think so.
mistaken. I think that's what she said. One of the shows that
Yeah,
she had a relationship with the Catholic Church. She was cool with the Pope.
So they would have to. She would have to accept that, right? Because the Pope, the whole Jesuits are the scientists for the Pope, right?
And they are Christian Science. The
I
Pope.
mean, they.
Catholicism is a sector of Christian Science, right?
So I don't want to argue that because I don't want to offend nobody. I would only argue the fact that because the Pope himself has Jesuit priests that are scientists.
Oh, but you know what? I remember the prayer because I went to Catholic school for a couple years. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit um was how they taught us to pray.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but Mary also got recognition as well, though,
Hmm.
in Catholicism, if I'm not mistaken. The Virgin Mary was always held in a high regard. Versus like in other forms of Christianity where it's just the mother, it's just
She, where it just seems and appears like she's relegated to just a baby mama.
yeah, she's just a baby mama. Somebody Joseph said, "All right, if the stepdaddy," you know what I'm saying? They try to make Joseph a simp. Ain't that what they calling it out here nowadays?
Super simp,
You
right?
know, so like because he had a baby mama. Like how they was married and she did when got pregnant. Like
It's crazy, bro. Like
that's wild.
and that's what I'm saying, right? So different things, God. They got different understanding of the stories and hold different people in reverence, right? So I don't know. So I would think that a Catholic person, because of the Jesuit priest being scientists, would hold to a Christian science this view. I just don't think that the Christian scientists would be saying nothing crazy that I don't know, a scientist would say, right? I don't know. They scientists.
Yeah, because I don't know. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about though, because definitely, like you said earlier, depend on the Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what is it? Depend on their conviction.
Yeah.
They're going to not go with the science and just go with the word of God. They're gonna just be
Correct.
like,
And it
yeah,
don't even matter what the science talk about.
yeah, because it's like 'cause the science is man made, but the word
Correct.
of God is written by the word of God.
Inspired. Yeah. You know that. Yeah.
I'm confused already. All right. So information news. Information news. Information concerning an enemy or possible enemy or an area, also an agency engaged in obtaining such information. Um, we see that in intelligence, and that's in relation to uh, military, uh, policing, um, security, anything in that realm. And we're not even really going into that because that's just you have to gather intelligence in order to be able to,
I would
you know,
only add. I would only add because it's simply straightforward, right? You're gathering information on the enemy or possible enemy for a reason,
for a reason.
to do something,
Right.
not to just know, not to be a looking ass motherfucker, right? Like you actually want to do something with that information. You possibly want to protect yourself.
For protection. Okay.
Right? Who knows? So that's the only thing I would add to
Yeah.
that because that's pretty straightforward. Because again, right, like because if you go back to the baby scenario, like the baby is moving for a reason. The
Hmm.
baby is crying for a reason. The baby is trying to go from here to over there for a reason. Right? You're getting this information news about the enemy for a reason.
That's right.
Right? So yeah.
Right. And that does go back to The skilled use of reason. Like you just said, yep, the skilled use of reason. So we got the act of understanding, comprehension. And this is where this is where I think like it gets confused. I'm seeing it being confused where I think that a lot of people only focus on intelligence being in that in the realm of the information,
Smart.
you know, in the
Yeah.
gathering of the information where like you have to be uh what you used to say back in the day, like, oh, he's really bright, he's an intelligent kid,
Correct.
you know, but it wasn't based on their total ability to learn and understand or deal with new and trying situations. It was only based on a thing, like just a thing. So like uh you were good in school, you know, you did really well in school. And it was like, okay, well, they're great. But then maybe you didn't excel in sports, you know? So are they intelligent just because they excelled in the literary aspect of it? And they less intelligent because they didn't excel in the sport in the athletic
Hmm.
portion of it, you know? So it seems like it has to be um like intelligence is being used as a label and not looked at as a whole, where one may say, I'm not intelligent. Pearl, you're not intelligent because you didn't do this or you didn't do that or you didn't do this or
Mhm.
you didn't do that. And because those are those things on their list that they feel as though equate to intelligence, you
Correct.
know, and I'm winning in life in all the other categories, you know,
Correct.
then how am I not intelligent? Like I'm the ability to learn and understand and deal with new trying situations. That's general. That's not just in one area of life. You know, that's not limited to one thing. The act of understanding and comprehension. Well, I understand finances, so I'm not struggling in that area. I understand health, you know, my own health. So I'm not struggling in that area.
Again, let me cut in real quick, God. You understand your finances because you know why it's important to understand your finances.
The reason behind it, yes.
You understand your health because you understand why it's important to understand your health. Right?
Right.
Like that's like it gotta again it gotta make sense, and it gotta be a soup question, right? Like we're trying to make soup. Like don't be asking me about the color of the walls. Right?
Right.
Like,
You know, I'm like, no, I can't go do brain surgery. You know what I'm saying?
what?
Like I can't, you know, but I have the ability to go learn it if I desired, you
That's
know.
true. There's a whole school that teach you that.
Yeah, like I just gotta show up and want and be determined and have some self-determination, have a goal and wanna, you know, and see
Correct.
myself be somewhere at the end of that.
Correct.
So
As long as I pass all the physical qualifications, then it's just me. I just gotta show up.
that's it. That's it. So the act of understanding and comprehension.
No, they
So when,
saying that the act of understanding is comprehension.
right, comprehension. The act of
Yeah.
understanding, comprehension.
Like that. See the way you saying it, like if you had it on the screen, it would make more sense. right?
I get it. 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 The act of understanding is
Yeah.
exemplifying comprehension. Correct, God.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And that's huge, right? Because just because you can read a bunch of words, just because you know what those words mean, do you understand what the person is talking about? Do you understand why they talking to you?
Right. And can you apply the knowledge?
Correct. Like,
Can you apply it?
is it valuable? Right? Is it useful? Do you have the skill set? Or are you just about to lie and put yourself in a position to waste somebody's time, to include your own?
It's a lot of that going on.
A lot of that going on.
It's
Like a
a
lot.
lot of that
Like
going
a
on.
lot of that
It
going on.
is
Like,
a
yo,
lot of that going on. Like if you don't want if you don't want to kick it, just say you don't want to kick it. Like
you know what I mean?
like stop it. I don't understand it. I don't. That is the act of I don't comprehend that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't, man. Like,
oh, I don't know what that's about. That is unintelligent to me. Like, especially when you can have a conversation and it's like, and then be clear. So I don't get that. I don't get that. I was trying to get something together with a podcast, and it just is it's like the same type of thing, like just a lack of communication. And then I'm just like, you know, if you decide that you don't want to communicate, but you don't tell me why you don't want to communicate, like, then why be mad with my actions?
correct.
Why be mad with my response? Like, I don't get that. So we're gonna keep it pushing like we
I think
always
I
do.
think I think people in all they thinking, that's what I'm saying, right? Like thinking is not intelligence just because you're using your brain. Like your body has to believe and accept in you, right? Like I think they be thinking they be having those conversations, but they just be having that conversation in their head, right? So when you do something, they be like, "Yo, why you moving funny?" Like we had this whole bill, and it's like, "Nah, fam. Like that was all you by yourself." Right, like,
Yeah.
that was like you didn't say nothing to me, right?
Nothing.
Right, like you didn't say nothing, right? Like
Like,
you think
even
you
after I
did.
reached out, it was still nothing. It was still like silence. So,
Yeah,
you
it got to
know,
be that, right?
yeah. So I'm like, okay, then, like, man, check episode 1, 2, or 3 or something. Pearl said he ain't begging nobody for nothing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I've been off the porch a long time. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody who I know I can close my eyes and be thankful and open my eyes and say, you know what? I know these people have been instrumental, you know. So I'm thankful for those people all the
100%
time,
facts.
for real. But that's understanding. I can comprehend that. you know, I can comprehend that. Now we got the ability to perform computer functions. That's in intelligence. So I might be a little bit more intelligent than I thought. Live streaming network, we might got something going on.
Look, mom on TV.
Look, man, we on TV. For real. All right. Then we got intelligent minds or mind. And then they have cosmic intelligence attached to that.
That sounds like a soft scientific explanation. Like that sound like like the other, like the reverse. So you got the Christian scientist says the basic eternal quality of divine mind, but then you got regular science that says cosmic intelligence intelligent minds or minds. That's what that looked like to me. Trying to appease everybody.
They trying to get. It seemed like they trying to get everybody in the game.
Yeah.
It seemed like they trying to make sure everybody gets some play. You know, and then and an intelligent entity, especially an angel, you know, that's not bad. I mean, angels seem to be, you know, biblically good people, you know. I mean, but the devil was an angel too, right?
So I don't know about.
So,
I'm about to say I don't know about
right.
good because I was thinking about the devil, and looking at this definition, especially an angel, like the angel would just have be a messenger, right? They would have information. So it's not even necessarily if they're good or not. Like old boy that wrestled with the angel, like something like he did that for a reason.
Because the information may be beneficial to somebody, depends on which side of the spectrum you're on, right? Depends on what you're trying to do. Hey,
Depends on what you're trying to do, right?
the
Like,
the red angel on one shoulder and the white angel
right?
on the other
That's what I'm
shoulder.
saying, right? Like that's what I'm saying, right? Like it's the information, like what you trying to do, like.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's wild out here. It is wild out here. Let's check out some of these similar words. What we got? Synonyms.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got smarts, reason, sense. Let's go to, I'm gonna pull this up on Google.
The gray matter.
Okay, so we got similar. On Google, when you pull it up, they just say the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. And they have a lot more similars than the Merriam-Webster dictionary. They say intellectual mental capacity, intellect, mind, brain power, powers of reasoning, judgment, understanding, comprehension, acumen, wit, sense, insight. And that's what we do here on Cigar Sundays, every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come exchange insights with the Cigarden Panel.
Hey.
Perception, perceptiveness, discernment, sharpness, quickness of mind, quick-wittedness, canniness, astuteness, intuition, alertness, cleverness, brilliance, aptness, ability, giftedness, talent, braininess. And the opposite of this is stupidity.
The one word.
One word. If you ain't intelligent, you stupid.
That's funny. That's funny. Wow.
And somebody be mad at you for calling them stupid. And it's like, it's in the dictionary. Go ask Google, said you were stupid, not me. I'm just reading what I...
And stupid, according to Google, literally means the behavior that shows a lack of good sense or judgment.
That's it.
Man, that's way more sensible than I thought. Stupid, man. Like
That's it. A lack of judgment.
you like, oh man.
A lack of judgment. So like if you lack good judgment, then it's good to say you stupid.
Correct.
You know, but I didn't say it. I didn't make it up.
Correct.
I'm just the messenger, like the angel.
Hey,
you know?
Intellect. You are the intellect.
I'm just the intellect. I'm not the one who said who made it. Because if I'm exemplifying the same thing, then guess what, buddy? Guess what, brother? Guess what, sister? I'm stupid too.
Yes, I know. Just because I'm the one that pointed it out. What they say, whoever smelt it dealt it, right?
Yeah, like come on, man.
Like that's we're not kids. Like
We are not children anymore.
realism is everybody at your job, right? No matter what you think about these people, like y'all pretty much all work in the same spot. Like y'all all pretty much as qualified or on the same level, right? Like you all can badge into the same building to perform some kind of function for the organization, right? So nobody is better than anybody, really. Nobody really has more intellect. They may have applied more diligently. They may have more of a desire or an innate desire. Like for me, I'm in the IT field. You have some people that are more innate tinkerers, so they're more in that to take stuff apart and put it together and learn new technologies and all that stuff, right? But that don't mean that the people that's doing admin in the IT field are any less IT professionals, right? Everybody is, uh,
Yeah,
you know,
you're gonna be sharper in certain areas where you sharp at.
that's it.
You know, like I may be the best. Like I could tell you like this. When it comes to culinary arts,
Hmm.
I will cook circles around anybody.
Hmm.
But if you put a baker in front, I'm not gonna bake circles around nobody. I'm not a baker. You know, like
See,
I
that's
have
very
to
good. That's very good.
I have to work at baking. You know, like I have to be in the kitchen by myself. If I'm baking and I'm baking from scratch, I need to be in the kitchen. I need zero distraction
Mm,
because the chemistry of it, the science of it, you know, if you don't put enough of this or you don't put enough of that, like it's not gonna rise. You know, you're not gonna get the flavor profile you're looking for.
hmm.
You know, it's gonna take longer to do things. It may not whip up. It may not, you know, it's like it's so much stuff. It may not flake right. You know, the temperature got to be right. Your oven temperature has to be perfect. So, you know, you because it's too long, you're gonna burn it. Undercook is too soggy. You know, and I just do better with proteins and vegetables and starches. You know, like I'm really good with that sometimes.
Yo, that's no. I'm listening
unless
to you.
unless you don't let me drink, don't let me get drunk before I start cooking.
Yeah, I was
Cause
just
I'm gonna
thinking about.
forget.
I was thinking about like how perfect that is, right? Because to a novice, like it's all just cooking, right?
Right.
But it ain't,
No,
right?
it ain't.
Like this is different specialties, and everybody is good at what they are good at, and it's stupid to think that you're supposed to be good in everything just because somebody else
Like,
is.
right. Or to feel bad when somebody come through and they the baker and it's like, no, I'm glad you showed up.
Glad you showed up. That's
You
work for
know,
me.
like for real. Cause I was just gonna go to the store and buy this shit. You know, and dress it up real nice. I could decorate that, you know what I'm saying? I set it up, make it look real nice. Everybody be eating. You made this?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know,
That's funny.
for real. But Wikipedia says intelligence has been defined in many ways: the capacity for abstraction, logic, understanding, self awareness, learning, emotional knowledge, reasoning, planning, creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. It can be described as the ability to perceive or infer information and to retain it as knowledge to be applied to adaptive behaviors within an environment or context.
Damn. Again, you're learning for a reason.
Right.
The whole period is at the end of you doing something and seeing the results of your actions. right? That's when you get to put a period on your thought, right? After you've done some stuff, right? And then you might have to go and take the pencil and go back to the drawing board and change some things, right? Might be.
Absolutely, because absolutely, God, because when you say go back to the drawing board and change some things, it says that the etymology of the word, the origin, derives from the Latin word nouns intelligenta and intellectus,
Hmm.
which in turn stem from the verb intelligere, which is to comprehend or perceive.
Hmm.
And that's different because I would have never thought perception or to perceive was intelligent.
What? You're looking for a reason. You see for a reason, right? Like that's is it dangerous or not? Right? Like, do I got to blink? Is that a bug or a rock, or is it just the wind? Right? Like, what's the like, man?
Because perception is used today as simply that. What is the perception? How do people perceive it versus what it actually is? So we might have to do perception because going into perceive, I want to see what that means. I want to see the actual definition of perceive because today so many people say, perceive to attain awareness or understanding of. So that's perceiving. Okay, and let's go perception. They have to be two different words. As a result of perceiving observation, a mental entity concept, absolute consciousness, awareness of elements of environment through physical sensation interpreted in the light of experience, quick, acute. So here we go again, where people is using the word in the wrong form.
Bro, yo, I'm looking at. So what are you reading from?
This is Merriam-Webster right here, perception.
So what am I? I'm on the thesaurus. That's why because I'm like it says as in feel, and I'm like it says to have a vague awareness of. I thought I perceived a problem, but I wasn't sure. Right, like the way that they put this sentence, right? This vague awareness makes perception seems in unimportant. But then they talk about all your senses, right? To feel, to sense, to smell, to notice, to hear, to see, to taste, to realize, to discern. Like all these things are not vague. Like these are all important things that are not oversights. Like when your butt itch and you scratch it, yeah, you can just do that. Or you can go check for a bump. Maybe you got bit by something, or maybe you got a rash, right? Like you just can't just keep scratching just because it itch without going and actually investigating it. Like
Yeah.
you might start
And
bleeding.
unless you standing at POA and you can't do nothing but let it itch.
You know what I'm saying?
If you have POA and whatever's itching, you can have a mosquito right there on your eye. Like you
Gotta
can
handle
ready to bite it.
that.
You can ready to bite your whole eyelid off. And you can't do nothing. And all you can do is observe it.
So that's interesting. So this word, so it's broken down as into to perceive, is broken as into feel, as into notice, and as into understand, and it's thought differently.
where you getting that one at?
So I'm still in Merriam's dictionary, but I'm at the thesaurus part,
Okay, okay.
and it's giving me the word perceive from the word from the perspective from to feel, which is the vague awareness,
Okay. Yep.
from the perspective as to notice, as to make a note or something through the use of one's eyes, right? So you think about taking a note, you jot down a note to remember like something important, or to
Okay.
or to understand, to have a clear idea. Like that's
That's for perceive, right?
yeah,
Okay. Have a vague awareness of, okay, as in to feel. Okay.
yeah.
So is this why, okay, but a perception, okay, to perceive, okay. See, most people don't say perceive. I'm trying to get to like how it's commonly used. Well, my perception was
Yeah, I'm tracking, and I think the misconception comes in because I'm looking at three different possible uses for the same word, and it means and is applied differently in all three situations.
you know the non-related to the actual definition of the word.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right,
Right.
like,
Right. I'm getting that.
right. So it goes back to my issue with the word manipulate,
Ah, okay.
right? Because if you can play with these words, and if you can play with intent, and you can play with context, you can use trigger words to make somebody think that they're having a feeling when you're trying to make them understand something, right?
Honestly, yeah.
And which is so messed up now that I think about it, right? Because because here the feel is super vague, right? So it's almost like a fart in the wind, right? It's not a big deal. It's just a stink. Versus in the elevator and there's two people. It's like, yo, son, all right, like it's different. Um,
so 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 it would be like I feel like, but it's a vague awareness of the actual situation,
yeah,
not being fully informed of what's
not
going on.
not being fully informed of what's going on.
It's just having a feeling about it, but not
But
actually having the tangibles to make a decision, a
which,
logical decision.
or maybe that's the step one of perception or to perceive, right? Is to not necessarily have a full understanding, but just to have some awareness of it, and then maybe you take a note, jot it down, do some research.
Well, they do say it's vague. They do say it is a
All right.
vague awareness. So let's go perception. And see, in perception, in the thesaurus part of it, it says the ability to understand inner qualities or relationships. The ability to understand inner qualities or relationships
That's as an insight.
as an insight. Yeah. Because that's what we do on the show. We exchange insights.
Yeah. Look what it
So
says as an understanding, though.
yeah, the ability to understand inner qualities or relationships.
No, I'm saying like underneath it says as an understanding. Look at that one. That's what I'm saying. It just gives you a whole different, not a whole different, but it's giving you two different approaches to it.
You talking about the synonyms?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, yeah.
no. So on the left hand side of thesaurus, you got as an insight.
I got you right here, as in understanding. Got you. Got you right here. The second. Okay. I had to scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
The knowledge gained from the process of coming to know or understand something. Appreciation, awareness, absorption,
Digestion.
digestion, realization, visualizing, enlightenment.
Oh man. A grip. Get a grip.
Man, shame on the public school system.
Shame, bro. Right? Cause my moms and pops got the same public school system that I got, right? and there was no way that they was prepared to to give me proper. 'Cause, because people always say it's the parents' responsibility to educate the children. It's the parents' responsibility to teach all the kids the right things. And I'm like, but if the parents don't know,
How they gonna teach it?
how they gonna teach it? And how do we educated people that can discern and say that it's somebody else's responsibility? How can we know that they don't know and still expect them to teach it? They can go to school though. They
You
they can
said-
go to they can go to school though. They can go to school.
What school? Which one?
Which one? What?
Which one?
Which? At what time? Like when they between wiping asses and going to work and and cleaning the house and doing everything else, right? Like what school? Right. So that's interesting.
Okay, so intelligence, we're gonna go back to our word intelligence, and we got the dictionary and we got the Thor side, the Thors, the Thor side, the source side, and as an intellect, the ability to learn and understand or deal with problems, and that's what they given us in the thesaurus. Synonyms to reason, that was in the definition: smarts, talent,
Mhm.
brain power, wit, gray matter, brilliance, insight, intellectualism, mind, astuteness, judgment, common sense.
Mhm.
I don't even think that exists anymore.
I don't think it should be up here right here. I wonder what they got, what they mean by common sense. Let's look up what common sense mean. Because maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I have a wrong understanding.
According to the thesaurus, based on sound reasoning and information. Um, or now as in prudence, as in logical,
Ooh. So that's not common based on yours and my understanding of the word. It's common based on sound right reasoning.
based on sound reasoning and information.
Yeah, so it don't matter what you and I are jaw jacking about. Was the sound reasoning information was what makes it common. Got you. That's okay. That's what they mean by common sense.
So that's what makes it not common, because everything that because
People not doing that though. People are formulating their own opinions,
right.
right? And because they can think, they feel like their thought is worthy and valid of somebody else's actions, right?
Mm.
And that's what makes it uncommon, because if I'm matching my brain against your brain, who's right? Right? If we're both putting together our best pronunciations and enunciation and practicing our best cadence and doing the best eye contact and doing the best communication drill known to man, right? Um, Neither one of us could be right. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if we
But
in a spelling bee, maybe. Then it matters. All that stuff you're getting graded on, they want to know that stuff in the spelling bee, yes.
yeah.
But in real life, like, we just need to agree, so things can progress, so we can move forward. We can continue to move forward, you know.
And we need to understand. And again, that's why I said I can't do agree to disagree, because for me, I need to understand.
Yeah.
right? Like if I don't understand, I'm unusable.
Yeah, that's why I say we have to agree. Specifically, we have to agree. Like, there has to be some sort of a nothing works without an agreement. Like you go and pay for something, they say this how much it costs, you paid, it's an agreement.
It's an agreement.
You go to work, they say you have to be there at this time. You don't show up, there's a penalty because you broke the agreement.
Correct.
So like I don't know why people, think that, they could just be willy-nilly with stuff. And this whole agree to disagree thing, I don't know where that comes from. Like, I guess that's just because people too stubborn to actually realize, like,
You know, I think it comes from laziness, bro, because it sounds intelligent. It sounds like the easiest thing to settle our disagreement, right? All right, guys, I could. It almost sound like a mom coming to break up two sons fighting, talking about, all right, y'all they give each other a hug. Y'all both still mad, don't matter. Fights over. Clean up this room together, kind of thing, and just agree to disagree, right? Just don't fight no more. That's all. That's all your mother's caring about right now is that you don't fight anymore right now, right? But it doesn't actually solve the problem, right? Like you don't know what they was fighting about. You don't know, you don't know how serious or how severe it is, right? And because you can make somebody stop fighting right now, you feel like you won, right? And that's not necessarily. That's what I'm saying.
right. How I came up, y'all stop fighting before I whoop both of y'all ass.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
you
I'm
know,
saying, right?
so it's like, damn, we don't want to fight you. We just
Hell
want to
no.
beat up each other.
We gonna go outside down the block.
Right. but they won. They won because they stopped the fight.
Because they stopped the fight. And on somebody looking as an observer, like, that's good parenting. It stopped the fight. So I'm gonna do the same thing, in my situation because I seen somebody else do it in theirs, and I'm like, yo, but you don't even have the same situation,
Right. It's probably a
right?
different situation.
That situation ain't even resolved,
Yeah.
right? Like you're following an unresolved
Example.
solution
Yeah.
because it looked like it solved your problem. That's what I'm saying, right? Like your ability to think means nothing if your body don't accept and believe in you, right? Because everything starts with a thought, right? Everything is that universal consciousness, right? So all your thoughts is not yours. You get inspired or you get enlightened or the light goes off. Like you say something that makes me think about something else. Like I didn't have that thought or that insight prior to your influence.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
But I don't gotta give you no credit for giving me that influence or giving me that insight at all. I don't gotta give you no credit. It didn't come from you. Thought of it on my own, and now I'm
saying?
here.
And now I'm here.
And
In
now I'm
fact,
here.
now I'm God, and now you
You
all got to
know,
do what I did, right? And so
it's
yeah,
like good luck with the rest of it. You're gonna need the rest of it. So good luck with the rest of it. You know.
you're gonna need the rest of it.
You're gonna need the rest of it. Trust me. We all do. So common sense, logical, reasonable, reason, sensible, rational, good, valid, true, informed, well-founded, sober.
Hmm.
Those are all things confirmed, verified, You know, I with these similar words, I like common sense.
I like common sense in this
Yeah,
because
you know,
this common sense doesn't mean that the stuff that we all think we know, right? Like it's this actual
no,
it's actually what is real.
right. Sound and prudent judgment based on simple perception of the situation or facts.
Yeah, like that's real. Um, no opinions.
No opinions, no emotions, what we say, no feelings.
No I ain't like you can feel how you want to feel about it. However, you still got to deal with it, right? For what it is and how it is, and excuse me, and that's the reality, right?
Will things get done though? That's the question.
Hmm.
Will things get done? Well, what needs to happen without common sense?
You know, again, right? It all depends on what's the mission and whose mission and whose agenda that you following, right? Or not you, but like
Right.
the situation, right? Because the name of the game could just be look like you know, like you have the right answers, look like you are the smartest person in the room, right? Because all you're trying to do is get the bag, get the most money,
But they
right?
have to show and prove though. Like that,
So,
where does
so,
that work?
so what I've seen, right? What I've seen is show and prove is relative, right? Because if you show that if you just show a good attempt, if you show an attempt with that appears to be without malice or any criminal intent, you can do fraud, waste, and abuse legally. Um,
You can always I get what you're saying. You can manipulate in a system that lacks checks and balances.
I'm saying even with those checks and balances, I'm saying that those checks and balances are people too, and those people are influenced by their supervisors, who are influenced by their supervisors, and office politics is real.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm saying that office politics oftentimes override the checks and balances, and you just be checking boxes and not so much balancing.
Mm. Yeah, but that's because there's enough people there that say
Yes.
we're gonna leave it up to interpretation. We
Well,
not
the-
going. I used to work for the government too. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's crazy. That's just crazy. That's
you
just,
know,
that's just
well, that's
crazy.
not what it say. You
That's
know
not
what
what it
I'm saying?
say. You
That's what
got,
you
you
want to make it say.
got.
But when you got enough people on board and you have enough people who don't want to go against the head person who's leaving things up to it, then it's like, man, it's a losing battle. Like,
And that's what I'm saying, right? So like, depending on whose agenda you following,
yeah,
right? Because you can be fighting uphill battle trying to do the quote unquote right thing or the thing that everybody needs, but in reality, they just trying to get through this fiscal year,
right, right.
right? And that could be the goal,
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
right? And
And it's not about integrity or honesty in no in that mind frame. It's just about this the goal. Let's just
just
get here.
let's just get here,
Yeah.
which which brings this whole thing into question, because again, that's my problem with the word manipulate. Because if those people get to wear, not if they don't get to wear, if they get good salaries, and they wear nice suits and shiny uniforms with their medals and stuff, and they're practicing intelligent uh, work, right? Like how do you fix that, right? Like how do you go from, I don't know, man, like how do you fix that, right? Because the common sense stops being about what's right, and just about office politics.
Okay. So this is where people are only using one form of the word. So like we pulled up manipulate right here
Mm.
in the
Let's pull it up.
Merriam-Webster, and it's a verb, and they say to treat or operate with or as if with the hands or by mechanical means, especially in a skillful manner.
Mm.
Two, to manage or utilize skillfully. That's 2A. And then 2B is to control or play upon by artful, unfair, or insidious means, especially to one's own advantage. Then we have 3, to change by artful or unfair means so as to serve one's purpose. To doctor, you know. Um,
Damn.
so so when we don't so when we don't have when we one don't have the word taught properly, and then we only have people using a portion of it that they feel comfortable with, and then we see that repeated more so, that's where
Yeah.
that's where it has become demonized or negative or not
Correct.
good or whatever.
And that becomes the common sense, the negative,
The negative becomes the norm, right?
right? Because I think here for 2A to manage or utilize skillfully, I think that's the intent that they use the word manipulate early in the definition for intelligence, to
Correct.
to manipulate the environment,
Right.
right?
To manage or utilize skillfully. Right.
Right, like that's the definition. But it's 2B and 3 is what is prominent. Um, unless you are a doctor, because that's what the first one is about, right? Like people think doctors, they don't even think about a pencil. See, that's what I'm saying, right? They use the pencil and to manipulate machines. But if you're looking at that, somebody might think about a doctor or a plumber or a carpenter, something quote unquote high skilled, as if writing is not a high skill, right?
Absolutely.
Like the ability to see a thing and reach out and grab a thing and bring it back and then do something with that thing is not high intellect.
Man, I don't know what they talking about because I know my handwriting is some trash.
You know what I'm
I'm always asking my wife, babe, can you write this? Anything need to be written? Unless I'm just like got some bills or something, I'm scribbling, doing some math or something. I got that under control. But like if it's time to
saying?
make a list,
Shit,
man,
I use my phone.
right? I'm like, I try, I still try to keep it old school, keep a little pen and paper somewhere,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
something with it, but definitely I look at, to write skillfully, to have very good handwriting script, like, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember in school people used to get A's for that. Like I would get a lower grade just because it would be like, I can't read this, I'm like, but I did the work, so
Yeah,
the work is done.
I was watching an anime one time. I don't know if it was real. It was an anime, but dude was a calligrapher, and they tied calligraphy into sportsmanship, right? And they talked about all the greatest swordsmen had great penmanship, and I'm like, that's very, very interesting because you had to be super skillful and masterful with the sword and powerful and fast and all that stuff, right? Um, so I thought that was interesting.
That's crazy.
So yeah, writing is not something simple. It's not easy. It's not a just because you can do it is a throwaway. You know, it's important.
To manipulate that pen. They've been manipulating that pen in that judicial system for a long time. Trying to tell you. Okay. So then we got in the thesaurus, they have exploit, manage, and negotiate. So as in to exploit, to control or take advantage by artful, unfair, insidious means. And then we have to manage. And this is the correlation. I
Spin
think we
doctor.
we're gonna spend it. This is the correlation right here that we trying to tie to with tonight's word, intelligence. To deal with something usually skillfully or
Hmm.
efficiently, as in to manage, um, and negotiate, to plan out usually, with subtle skill or care. Yeah, and they have maneuver, finesse, a common word that everybody's using nowadays.
And finesse is always negative, right? Finesse is one of those like you be rubbing your mittens and whatnot. Like you about to come up, but somebody's about to get caught slipping.
somebody else, somebody else got to pay a price, right?
All right, you just like that's yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna take it back to the beginning, to where we started. So, intelligence, good, bad, misunderstood. Where we at, God?
Nah, it's definitely good. And 100% misunderstood. I don't know if it's purposeful though. So,
What
but
what you mean? Break that down. What you
I don't
mean?
know. I don't know. Like so when I think purposeful um, manipulation, I think about the media. I think about a Fox or a CNN, right? Giving people the idea that there's two different thought processes, um, or real. I mean, I guess they kind of opposing, but not really, right? Because the Democrat and the Republican, they both Americans, and they both fighting for America, right? Like they really don't want. They're not at war with each other, so it's not like they different. So, but the media will spin things, to make people think one way or another, because the average citizen will not do any research further than watch what they're looking at already,
Hmm.
right? Like they're not gonna look up these words to make sure that they're understanding what they're making a judgment on, right? They're just gonna that does sound right, and this person does sound like the best person for me.
Oh no, this one, I'm blessed. I don't need to learn nothing else.
All
All right. Stay
right,
blessed.
stay blessed.
You know what I'm saying?
And in truth, really, that's all you can do is stay blessed, right? Because what else you got? Like that's all you need, and so that's the thing, man. It's that manipulation and the powers that be. That's because in order to govern, right? Like you do have to control everybody, right? Like, and you can't do that without manipulating them to what you need them to do. Right? Like there's just no way, because especially in a free society like we have, where everybody's allowed to express their opinions without getting punched in their face, at the very least.
At the very least, right? At the
Right?
very least.
Like, so to control that many people, like it would be hard. So you would need a device like the television, like the internet, right? Like the TikToks and the different algorithms to keep people engaged on what you want them engaged on, right? So that they're as a mass are focused on this. It's kind of like watching the Super Bowl, right? Like so many people are tuned in and focused on one television program. Anything that they want to do and get across, like you got so many people that you can spread your message to,
Mm-hmm.
right? That you ain't even got to work hard for. You just need $3 million, right? For 30 seconds, and you got them.
Yeah.
You know, if I had $3 million, I would put up BK Soul Farm, right?
You know, you might be able to sprinkle it around a little bit more though to be more effective though.
You know
You
what I'm
know,
saying?
long
Right?
term. I mean, one day.
One day, that's what I'm saying, right? But so many people are impacted off that one day. It's kind of like a Black Friday kind of thing, right? Like they get so much more foot traffic just because of that one day than they would during a normal sale or any other time. Like people think that it's reduced prices and tax free or whatever the Black Friday deals are. Like more people go out there and spend more bread, you know?
Right.
But yeah, nah.
Yeah,
Like
they do go out there and spend a lot of money for them Super Bowl commercials, and people do watch them. Like it has become the social norm for everybody to, not get up and go to the bathroom because they don't want to miss the commercials. And salute, shout out to them for real. But
yeah, and it must be beneficial for them in order for them to spend so much money, right? For an advertisement company to spend so much money, like the idea of the payout, like it got to be ridiculous.
I think in some form, but remember, BK Soul Farm, as in DB said, it's a business expense. You can write it off.
Yeah,
It's advertising. So,
that's true.
you
That's true.
know, it's just having that amount of money to spend on advertisement, you
Yeah,
know,
that's ridiculous.
and it's just a write-off. That's it. You might not even make 1 million, but you spent 3 million in advertisement. Wow. And you didn't pay a lot of taxes this year, did you? No.
Hell nah, I ain't
That's
paying no.
how it works. you know, so
He wasted $3 million. Yeah.
yeah. Did I really? So I mean, if you know how the game works, then it is that. It's just a game to be played. Like,
Correct.
and play it to win. Don't play not to lose. But and that would be intelligent. I think so.
Because winning and not losing are two different things.
Yeah, playing to win and playing not to lose is completely two different things. Yeah, playing not to lose and playing to win is two different things. It's a different level of determination. I'm playing to win. Like I'm trying to actually get it, not coming in here worried about what they doing. We ain't worried about what y'all doing. Y'all score once, man. We gonna score twice. Y'all better D up. Plain and simple. So we playing on offense and defense. We ain't just coming in here trying to shoot y'all out the gym. If we do that though, it'll work, but we
Yeah.
gonna need some stops. It'll trust me, it'll make the game easier if y'all gotta come back from 20 versus, you know, if
Down
it's
by
the,
5.
if it's down by 2 the whole game, if it,
Woo. Yeah.
you know, if we got 47 lead changes, you
I
know,
mean, you can't take a break at all.
no, he tied. He tied at the end of that game. Trust me, for real. And hopefully you won. Hopefully you was on the W side. Yeah, but that's a mental acuteness, the basic eternal quality of divine mind. I'm to the point where intelligence is, after our conversation and, you know, and examination and breaking everything down and studying and analyzing and stuff, I'm to the point where, and I already was like, I already liked the word intelligent already, just growing up, you know. um it was a rapper called Wise Intelligent. I think that was the first time I ever got exposed to the word intelligence. I don't know what group they was with, but might have been Poor Righteous Teachers, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But but then always was intrigued by just, you know, what what does it mean to be intelligent? And until today, like, you know, 30 years, some odd years later, you know, the ability to learn or understand or deal with new and trying situations, the skilled use of reason. And somewhere we picked it up, because I can't say that I probably would have made it this far without the ability to learn and understand and deal with new or trying situations and apply reason. Because, like you said earlier, we learn things for a reason. You understand those things for a reason. And if you're a person who's building constantly, and, you know, I guess, you know, I don't want to use the word, you know, hey, we use the word how we feel like using the word. If you're evolving, elevating, then you're going to deal with new and trying situations, because everything is not always the same. As you growing, you're going to experience new things. You're going to come across different situations. So you're going to have to exemplify some intelligence. It's not going to be a lot of room for stupidity, because the dictionary said that the opposite of intelligence was stupidity, not because Chef Earl Pearl said it.
That's true.
You know, so be mad at Merriam-Webster. You know, don't be mad at us. You know, or just be intelligent. It might make things a little bit, you know, it might allow things to be a little less complicated in one's, you know, daily activity, whatever that may be, in one's environment. You know, so we got intelligence, and it's not limited to AI, because AI is artificial intelligence. And
It's in the word.
it's in the word, right? And I say that because a past friend of mine used to always brag about AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I always used to remind that person that the intelligence is you. That's artificial. So I'm never going to put what's created by man before the man without giving the man credit. I got to give the human the credit first, because artificial intelligence has to be programmed, it
Correct.
had to be created. And who puts all the information into it? The man does. So I'm never geeked off AI. I love AI, the use cases and what we able to do with it. stuff like that, being a content creator. Like I said, I've been studying it and been, working on some stuff. But once again, I'm just using tools that humans created. Another man created. I'm thankful for those people who created it. And now I get to go and use it so I can create some stuff,
Correct.
so I can use my
Oh, peep game.
intelligence.
Peep game. You were not intelligent enough to create it, but you're intelligent enough to use it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? Like that's what it's about. Like, and just because you are intelligent enough to use it does not make you a creator of the thing.
No.
Right? Like it doesn't flip a switch in your head to make you think, oh man, I developed this AI. I'm so good at using it. I know everything
No.
about this.
No. No. No, you know how to use the app,
You know how to
sir.
use the
You know how to use the app, sir. That's about it. So nah, but whoever owns the app that you're using,
Yeah.
is that who you want to be? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Then you need to do what they doing,
Cause
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so it's a difference. But definitely intelligence, bad, good, misunderstood.
Definitely good. 100% misunderstood. Um, yeah.
Man, what they doing too? They doing it again with the so
Ah, you froze.
I got you froze too though. Like, but you not froze. Now look,
Oh man.
I'm gonna go out and come back in, but you stay on though, because last time you left
And you
and
came back.
I came back.
Oh word, I'm gonna stay right here then.
Okay, so I'm gonna go out, come back in. It just take a little second.
Yeah, I wish I had like some talents, right? Cause I would like freestyle. I would sing a song. Like if we had like some people in here with some recommendations or some which I want to hear some Earth, Wind and Fire. Y'all want to hear some OJs, right? Do 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 do. Hey, what you want to hear? What you want to hear? What you want to hear? I got you. I got you. Um, you want to hear some audio too? Nah, we just gonna sit here and chill and look through these words, right? Because I don't know, man. Like we play around with common sense. We say common sense is not that common, but man, we do ourselves a disservice by being lazy because it literally just means the knowledge, judgment, and a taste which is more or less universal and which is held more or less without reflection or argument, right? Like, so it didn't even say, like, it's not even a firm, it's, we shouldn't argue about it, right? Like, water is wet. If you want to argue if it's hot or cold, that's different, but the question is water wet or dry? And water is wet, right? That wouldn't require an argument. Common sense would say water is wet. If the question changes to is it hot or cold, right? You just can't like, oh, common sense say normally it's cold. Like you can't say that. Now you change the conversation, you change the topic, and you got to apply a different thought process to it, right? So
And I'm back.
that's a
They thought they was doing something.
a
They thought they was doing something.
Hey, I had my computer up this time, so I had some stuff to read.
Okay. Okay. Now I had the live feed still, but just on my device. I don't know what's going on. It's not normal. But
Nah.
We'll switch up when we, you know,
Yo,
where we need to
check,
be at.
yeah, check it out real quick. It say common sense, right? It says it is often considered to represent the basic level of sound, practical judgment or knowledge of basic facts that any adult human being ought to possess. Yo, that is literally food, clothing, shelter, and the protection of that, right? I'm not saying that everybody got to be a farmer. I'm not saying everybody got to be a seamstress or a tailor, right? A banker, a candlestick maker, but you have to know how to do what you need. You
Yes.
have to you have to know who has what you need and figure out what it is that you have to do to solidify that relationship so that you can get what you need. Right? You got to manipulate your environment, right, so that you can get what you need. Like it's super simple. Food, clothing, and shelter, and the protection of that is the basics for all adult human beings, for all human beings. Period. But in this society, we don't hold children to the same standards of accountability that we do to adults, right? So for adult humans, like that's what I put in the book, right? Having a job does not guarantee or mean that you have food, clothing, shelter, and the protection of that. Having a job means you have a job,
That's it.
right? If you lose your job, if the economy takes a hit, like it's too many factors that if anything hiccups on that job interferes or comes into interference with your food, clothing, shelter, and protection of that for yourself and for your family, right? So if you ain't got some pots with some soil and some drips irrigation systems or something, if
A
you
bucket
ain't
in the corner.
a bucket in the corner, if you're not taking a swear jar seriously and real deal stashing money to the side, right? Like if you, like do it like do whatever you need to do, right? Because you have to have food, clothing, shelter, right? And the protection of that. Because again, you got to have protection of that because you got other humans that don't prepare for the winter, right? And they literally sit around and wait and watch everybody else that's getting busy and looking for who's weak,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you did everything but prepare your security, everything that you got, what they say here in America, possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah.
Like it's yours until somebody come and take it from you. I'm from Brooklyn. Yo, I learned that lesson a long time ago, often as a youth. Right?
Right.
Like it's yours until somebody come and take it. And if they can take it from you, it's not yours no more.
That's
Right?
right. Yeah.
Right? Like you can go get it back, but that moment it's snatched off, like it's stopped being yours, right? Like it's so
If you get a shot, if they don't kill you to take it.
right.
Because those circumstances, what you talking about, is paramount circumstances where it could be life or death, and that's the reason why they willing to risk their life because you know, of course, because they was lazy and they didn't want to work hard enough to prepare. Because, like what you talking about, even still, the food, clothing, and shelter, like it don't come easy. You
Yo, and
know.
that and those and that's the basics, right? Like you need to eat, you need to drink water, you need clothes, right? You need a shelter, like you need these basics. Like this thing says common sense, right? It is often considered to represent the basic level of sound practical judgment, knowledge of basic facts that any adult human being ought to possess. It says ought to possess, right?
Art.
It even left room that you might have been raised in the 80s, right? And crack.
Yeah, because if you made it through the 80s and you know what I'm saying, you weren't, you did not try
Right,
cocaine,
right,
you know.
like so yeah, man. Like it's food, clothing, shelter. I would never relent from that because if those are not the basis or the basics, I don't know what else is. Right? Like money. What is it? Like, cause is it Bitcoin or is it fiat American dollars or is it bricks? Right? Like, which one do you do? Right? Like, which one can you eat? None of them.
No.
Right? Like, which one is gonna make you to allow you to see the next day? Right? On an empty stomach. Right? It's raining outside and you ain't got no shelter. Yeah, if you had fiat, if you had bricks, if you had Bitcoin, those things could help if you knew how to apply yourself, right? If you had the knowledge, information, and the fortitude to believe in yourself, to believe in your thoughts, right? To accept in your ability, right? That you are all of your potential, right? You can be as great as you want to be, or as terrible, right? And
Wow.
that's really it, man. Like that's common sense, man. I have a brand new respect for this word, man, because colloquial is out, right? Like unless I know for a fact that the person that I'm talking to is a god like me, I'm saying not. When we talk about common sense, we talk about food, clothing, shelter. We talk about soup questions.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I recommend do it all.
You know what I'm
Do it all.
saying?
Do all of it. If
You
you
know?
can, if you desire it, do it all.
Do it,
Like
man. Like it's
like that is
important.
the definition of diversification. To do it all. Do the food, do clothing, do shelter, do Bitcoin, do fiat, do not bricks. Not bricks.
I just heard that a little while ago, bro.
Not bricks. No. I'm not going to encourage people to do bricks, but maybe some gold bricks and some silver bricks or copper bricks or shit, bricks of uranium. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, do it all, man. Like, why not? You know, like because we're here, other people are doing it. We see a lot of people who are not doing it too. Those people who you talking about who like who gonna want to take because they don't want to do the work, you know. So uh and I'll be judged, man. I call them the underachiever community. So I'm believing in achieving.
Yeah,
So
bro.
so that's why I'm calling them the underachievers. They not believing in achieving. So I'm believing in achieving. And if I'm saying anything that I can suggest someone do, I'm willing to do it myself. I'm not one of them people who would suggest you go do something that I ain't done or I'm not willing to do. I just don't do that.
Correct.
Cause if I don't know nothing about it, then I'ma say I don't know nothing about that. Like you're gonna have to find somebody else with more experience to give you a better insight or perspective. Like that's in real life. On Cigar Sundays, you might hear me bullshitting and doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hear me say talk a little wild or you know what I'm saying? I'm turning up for online. You know what I mean? But
For the likes and the
yeah, but the real name my mama gave me, everybody who know that person and know what that person about. You know what I'm saying? In real life.
definitely,
So
definitely.
So I feel you, God. Food, clothing, and shelter. It would seem like it's common sense, but like my granddad used to say, common sense ain't common to everybody. So
It's crazy.
I don't know why. I don't know why it's so difficult. You
It
know,
ought to be, right? That's the word they use. Ought. It ought to be.
ought. It seems so biblical. Ought, though it's thou is those. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe ought is not one of those. It just
This sound like
feels like it.
it sound like one of those words though,
It
right?
feels like it. Ought. It ought to be.
It sound like ought sound like one of those words that like if you not it, like you should be like you should feel ashamed of yourself if you are not possessing basic facts and the basic skill set to do basic adult things, right? You should be ashamed of that and want to improve yourself, right? Just for the better, for even if for nobody else's betterment but your own,
That's it.
right? Just because there are things that you ought to know as an adult that you just don't, and you should probably go learn those things.
That's it. That's it. That would be very intelligent.
That would be intelligent, right? Like
Yeah, that would be very intelligent.
that would be.
Yeah. So, you know, we're gonna close out on that note right there. We want people to be intelligent, look the word up. It's not limited to AI. That's the artificial one. That ain't the real one. That's the fake one. Like they say in the A shouted. That ain't the real one. That's the fake one. So, that's it. Strive for intelligence, man. Like, we need more intelligent people. More people wanting to be intelligent, wanting to actually understand that and exemplify what that is. It'll make coexistence a little bit better.
We need more people wanting to understand and not just get their point across or get their views out. We need people to want to understand. Right, like that's important.
Big facts.
All right, God.
So, like always, we want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Cigar Sundays. Make sure to like and share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays live. Don't forget to hit the links in the description. We have some amazing things for y'all to check out. And we will see y'all next time on Cigar Sundays Live. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
It's such an ancient pitch, but one I wouldn't switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you.
Slide of that line, what's your name, what's your sign? Is your legs tired, you been running through my mind. You be looking fine, your type really hard to find. You like 1 + 9, do you get it, you a dime, And can I get the digits to your line? Redefine love while I'm picking through your mind. Trying to see what's your interest. Time we should spend this. Turn to real friends before we get down to the business. 'Cause first we need respect and trust and love. Bonnie and Clyde type bond. Till death do us. Your friends all mad and mine too, yup. Wishing that they had a real